That's my brother, Will.
I could use some help.
My wife needs this surgery.
I just love when there's tension in a scene, you know? I love when a character can come in and create that tension, and I love when a story creates it. And so when you're watching a character that's unpredictable, you're always intrigued, you're always watching. And I think that's what I mean. I think to be engaged in the story is all I want for an audience when they're watching. And so, you know, when you make a character, you go, what's he going to do next? I don't know. It's always fun to watch. And so to me, that's what I love to do and create and try to do in everything that I do in movies.
If I could add to that, you know, one of my acting teacher, he says, do you want to be right or do you want to be interesting? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I really love the way that Jake worked, you know, and not to say that he made unconventional choices, because I don't think that's what he did at all. But I think that he really explored the depths of what that character could be. And so a lot of the things that turn out to be interesting were actually right at the same time, you know, that like one didn't conflict with the other. So, you know, that's just one thing about, you know, Jake's performance that I really, you know, admire. It was a very, very intelligent way of, I think, crafting that character.
If I could just get it done real quick, because I'm on the clock. Promise not to rob the place.
Oh. Seriously, because that would be bad for my job.
I promise.
All right, come on. Okay.
What's the process, you know, for adapting a city to your filmmaking style? Was there a certain look that you wanted LA to have in this film?
I grew up in LA. I know it very well. I shot there since I was a director when I was 23 years old. And I've shot there. I've shot in almost every location. I haven't been there in a long time. They haven't done a big movie there in a long time. This is my small movie, but it feels like a big movie. We shot it very fast. It was shot during the height of the pandemic in California, which sort of helped me because we had LAPD was able to give me 50 real cops, real SWAT. We would have an LA police helicopter do a flyby when we called them in sometimes. But yeah, it's got a very, very LA feel.
How was working with Michael Bay and Asa Gonzalez?
Two separate energies. It was a pleasure to work with both of them, you know, for sure. You know, Mike was off the hook, man. I really have a soft spot for Mike because, you know, we filmed this movie in a very tough time, you know, in the world for a lot of people. And what Mike brought for me personally was an opportunity to escape, you know, and hopefully we'll be bringing that to, you know, to everyone else during this time when they can go into the theater, you know, and sort of escape for a moment and to experience some excitement and some joy and, you know, all of the things that we have to offer with this film. And Asa was a part of that. You know, I think she was she was definitely a calming presence, and she was very kind and gentle and attentive to, you know, to her job and that responsibility. She brought a lot of heart, you know, to this film. And you know, that's what I appreciate most.
I mean, I think the thing that makes them both really special is that I do love both of their hearts. I mean, Michael's a madman in a lot of different ways, but he also has such a big heart. And like, I think he appreciates the truth. And I think the same thing for Asa. I think she's just such a lovely human being, and she's devoted to the work that she does. And, you know, it's funny that you ask them about them, because obviously they're not with us in this interview, but they are an unlikely pair, those two, to think about actually how similar they are in certain ways, but also how so different they are. And you know, I would just like say with Asa, like, she's just a very generous, very kind person, and so enthusiastic about her work. And truly, I don't think there's anything more you can ask for in a scene partner and to be in a movie with. And the enthusiasm about work is, Michael shares that too, and then some.
All the leaves are brown. What would you say is the most important thing when you direct a car chase scene?
Well, for one, I've been doing it so long The most important thing is safety, working with the best people for their skill set, and be inventive. This necessarily this wasn't really, to me, it wasn't an action movie. It was a movie about tension, if that makes sense.